Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for June 21st. June 21st is the 172nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 173rd in leap years, with 193 days remaining to the end of the year. There's a full moon tonight, Friday, June 21st, in the Western Hemisphere, around midnight or so on the 22nd, Greenwich Mean Time, for anyone watching from the other side of the planet. Some of June's full moon nicknames include the strawberry moon, the egg-laying moon, or the green corn moon, to name a few. There are certainly more names for this moon depending on what part of the world and what culture is calling it. Today's word is latte. Latte is a noun that refers to a milk coffee that is usually made of espresso, steamed milk, and a final thin layer of frothed milk on top. This may also be referred to as a cafe latte. Espresso, then, is a coffee that is brewed by forcing hot water through finely ground and usually darkly roasted coffee beans. Espresso, by the way, can be pronounced espresso or espresso. Now, this would be different from a regular brew coffee that is made by percolating or dripping heated water through a medium grind coffee of any roast, light, medium, or dark. But wait, a cold brew espresso can also be had and made into a latte. There's also such a thing as a tea latte, which is equal parts tea and steamed milk, also with the foam topping of frothed milk. Chai latte is made the same way, only with Indian masala chai. Then there's matcha latte, which is made the same way, only with matcha, which is a tea made of matcha powder, finely ground powder made of the leaves of certain green tea plants, water, and milk. The key and common denominator in all these lattes is the use of hot milk and the foamy layer of steamed milk on top. Any of these particular beverages tend to be a bit bitter on their own, especially if unsweetened, and the milk sort of buffers that bitterness. All this information begs the question, what's the difference between a latte and a cappuccino? Well, it is that a cappuccino is made of 3 equal portions of espresso, steamed milk, and milk foam, all layered in the cup. The cafe latte has more steamed milk, and the espresso and the steamed milk are mixed together, and it has a lighter layer of foam. The word latte is short for cafe latte, which is an Italian expression that means milk coffee. The word latte, as we find it in Italian, evolved from Latin and a Proto-Indo-European root word before that meant milk. First known use of the word latte is in 1985. Latte. The word latte was requested by Katie Pine at Katie Pine 1960 on behalf of the Rock Valley My Day group. Thanks, Katie, and thank you, Rock Valley My Day group. And if you have a word you'd like to see in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. New Hampshire became the 9th state to enter the Union on June 21, 1788. Known as the Granite State or the White Mountain State, New Hampshire's capital city is Concord, and its actual state capitol building is the oldest state house in which the legislature still meets in its original chambers, dating back to 1819. New Hampshire's largest city is Manchester. Located in the New England region of the northeastern United States, New Hampshire is the 5th smallest in area, 10th least populous, and ranks 21st in population density. New Hampshire's motto is "Live Free or Die," reflecting its role in the American Revolutionary War. We hear about New Hampshire about every 4 years or so at least, because they hold the first presidential primary after the Iowa caucus. People who are from or live in New Hampshire might be called Granite Staters or New Hampshireites. From about 1810 to 1935, the Amoskeag Manufacturing Company in Manchester, New Hampshire, was at one time the largest cotton textile plant in the world. Unfortunately, times change, and that sort of industry moved away. The Amoskeag Company is no more. New Hampshire's living insignias include the purple finch, the Carner blue butterfly, the ladybug, the red-spotted newt, the purple lilac, the white birch tree, the Chinook dog, the brook trout and striped bass, and the white-tailed deer. New Hampshire's state song is Old New Hampshire. New Hampshire is one of 9 states without an income tax. They also have no sales tax, no capital gains tax, and no state inheritance tax. They make up for it in local property taxes. Happy Statehood Day, New Hampshire. Now, this is the birthday of Raymond Douglas Davies, born June 21st, 1944 in London, England. We know him better, though, as just Ray Davies, co-founder, lead vocalist, rhythm guitarist, and primary songwriter of the rock band the Kinks. Ray was the 7th of 8 children in his working-class family. Ray's oldest sister, Renee, gave him a guitar for his birthday one year. He studied art in the early 1960s, but became increasingly interested in music. Formed the Kinks in the early 60s, and they played right on up into the 90s, and after the Kinks disbanded in 1996, he continued a solo career. Very productive, the Kinks released 78 singles and nearly that many albums. I'm seeing 10 solo albums and some 13 singles by other artists that Ray Davies wrote. By golly, he's still working. Ray Davies turns 80 in 2024. Happy birthday, Ray Davies. We have a playlist of episodes for this day in history, as well as a playlist of single subjects called How About That? And words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That right here on this channel, and I'll leave links to those playlists for you. Today's song is You Really Got Me by the Kinks. Written by Ray Davies, it was released in August of 1964, the Kinks' 3rd single, and later on the Kinks' first album, Kinks. While commentators and critics have described You Really Got Me as garage rock, hard rock, or proto-punk, Ray's brother Dave described the song as a love song for street kids. I can totally see that. You Really Got Me was the Kinks' breakthrough hit. Van Halen covered it on their 1978 self-titled debut album, and that one did well, too. You Really Got Me by the Kinks. Link in the description. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.